All right. In the tradition of my house, touch tips and begin.
You know, I'm not going to lie. I think Kristen Cole's new haircut's kind of whack.
It's not good.
Yeah.
I mean, he looks like a douche either way.
Yeah.
It's just, it depends on if he looks like a frat bro douche or he looks like a hobo douche. Either way, major douche.
Hey, guys. Welcome to another episode of the Couch Gambit podcast.
Hello.
Episode 3 of House of the Dragon came out.
The Dwagon.
Season 2, the Dwagon.
The Dwagon.
You know, good. Another good episode. Though I will say, I feel as if there were like less standout scenes.
Yeah.
In this episode versus 1 and 2. However, there are 2 particular scenes that are chef's kiss. Kind of like with the last 2 episodes. We're going to go in chronological order, by the scenes.
So anyway, the episode starts with the Brackens and the other guys.
Other guys, yeah.
I'm not familiar 100% with the titles, but I know that they don't like each other, and they have splitting lands. One side is declared for Rhaenyra, one side is declared for Aegon, and we're already showing the depths on how these lands have differed and are starting to hate each other because of the differing sides. We have one side, I think it's the Brackens, they call the other side Kinslayer because they think the Rhaenyra was responsible for the death of Aegon's son, and vice versa. They call Aegon the usurper.
What I like about this scene is that it really does preface the idea that this episode is really trying to really slam your into your head. With war, it doesn't matter the reason. It's really just blind hatred.
Yeah.
Between these 2 factions because they don't know why they hate each other anymore.
The opening scene illustrated this perfectly in that there was a feud between 2 teenage kids, 2 hot-headed teenage kids that were ready to fight. And then we see in a close-up shot that one of them got impaled in the neck, lovely, and just dies. And as the camera raises, we just see the thousands upon thousands of people that are dead.
You can only just imagine what it will be like with dragons, plural.
Oh, yeah.
Also engaging in such a battle.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, as much as I love this season so far, there is a ton of buildup, and I'm getting antsy for a battle.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Game of Thrones, House of Dragon, what I care about more is the political intrigue, the dialogue,
100%.
Things like that. That's just what I care about. But I will say, God, they're really trying to hype up this fucking confrontation, and I just want to fucking see it already. Obviously, Kristen Cole's plan to go to the Riverlands, right?
He's assembling the small army that they have currently at King's Landing, and he's essentially just going to pick up people on the way there.
Yes.
So he's going to drop off at smaller cities and pick up some of their army and make them declare for the king.
Right.
And he's just going to get all the way down to the Riverlands.
Good old Kristen Cole. Only wants to just keep moving forward.
Yep.
Doesn't really want to think about it.
Nope.
Anything.
And I do appreciate in this scene that Alicent, at the very least, is trying to hey, no one's listening to her, but she's at least trying to hey, we need to keep order, or we're all going to waver.
Well, it does really show that without the Hightower influence, things are raging now. War is now truly inevitable.
Yes.
Right. It is. As Alicent will later say, too late.
Yeah.
So, after the small council meeting,
Daemon goes to
Daemon goes to Harrenhal. One thing I kind of picked up on was, but when I saw the bats leaving, bats are normally an omen for evil and death. Mm-hmm. And I'm oh. You will only find death here. Mm-hmm. And then he finds some poor guy and he fucking beats the shit out of him. I'm okay, never mind.
This poor dude, knowing what happens later, is this poor guy was probably just trying to do his job and he just gets bracked in the face.
And so he then meets, I forget his first name.
One of the Strongs.
One of the Strongs, yes.
Santa, the strong Santa.
He's funny.
I like him. He's cool.
He's funny, man.
He's probably a wise dude too, because he immediately knows that I can fight this dragon. I submit.
Yeah,
you're our friend.
And I do like the scene between him and Daemon. I also like when he refers to him as my prince. Daemon's like, "Your Grace," and for the first time, he actually does stutter a bit. Mm-hmm. He's like, "Oh shit."
Yeah.
Fuck. I do also love how Aemon is like so determined to kind of redeem himself for his fuck up, essentially, because he knows like his wife is pissed.
Yeah.
His wife / niece is pissed.
Yeah. I mean, phrasing it that way, yeah, it's true. Even worse, the current sitting king right now is his queen is also his sister.
True, man. What? This is great.
The Targaryens are just full of inbreeding.
God almighty.
It's no wonder there's
No wonder
not
they
a bunch of
went mad.
hillbillies coming out of there.
No wonder they fucking went insane. They
No matter
burned
there was
everything.
a mad king. They're all inbred.
Mad King.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I like the scene in Harrenhal. I really like their interactions.
I also really appreciate the line that Daemon says, people should follow their lord, no
yes.
matter what condition. It refers to two things. It refers to his respect for when his brother was sitting the throne.
Yes.
And how he'll still follow him no matter his condition. You're still the king, no matter what.
Yep.
But it also may in some way refer to Rhaenyra in this scenario. Like, despite the fact that he's probably still angry with her and they had that little bit of a falling out, he's still following her command. Like, he's still trying to get the army at Harrenhal.
I think Daemon is just... Before, he was kind of like a character to me in season 1, but then like...
Daemon, really?
Yeah. Like the first couple episodes, I mean, in season 1. And then as time went on, I was like, I just enjoyed him more and more because he wasn't just an asshole.
Yeah.
He really was he's like, yes, he's a fucked up dude.
Oh, very much.
He's so fucked up.
Yeah.
But like, there's layers. He's like an ogre.
Yeah, he's my favorite character because of how unpredictable he is. Because he does show himself to be someone who is heartless, someone who is not a good person, but there are layers to him, especially in this episode. We see certain things that come up that I haven't seen before in Daemon. And it just shows that there is so much more to him than just the base traits that they show. This isn't, the new Star Wars where you are just your base trait. No.
Yeah.
There's so much more to this character than meets the eye, and he's so unpredictable. That's why he's such an interesting character and my favorite character in this show.
Yeah.
Just to bring this up, Daemon has the best dragon.
He has the best dragon.
Just the best wagon.
Best wagon.
Dude, that boy, the Bloodworm. That's such a great name, by the way. But just the way this dragon moves and how it his legs look like some weird distorted fin.
Yes, I know, dude. That dragon has a sick design.
Oh, it's so in the way it roars, where it's some kind of it's almost like a small cry, but also just like this painful roar. Like, it's such a great design. I love this dragon.
I don't think it could support my weight, but
it would definitely be more U-shaped if you cut on it.
I do kind of like the scene between him and Alicent before they part ways. Does Kristen Cole, does he only lust after the queen, or does he actually have feelings for her?
I feel like he has feelings for her, but he probably very much is one of those guys that jumps to conclusions, because he did the same thing with Rhaenyra. I mean, they only slept together one time. And he really jumped to conclusions when he asked Rhaenyra many years ago. I was like, hey, let's go away together. You slept together once, dude.
And he's just like, yeah, forget being a royalty. Forget your throne. It's all about this Dornish cock.
Let's ride into the sunset together, baby. Forget the throne, royalty, duty.
He is such a fucking simp.
Gosh,
you're so fucking cringe, dude.
You go from a scene where you disrespect her in court, and then it's like, I would love your favor from my heart. Gosh, I'd slap you in the face.
One thing I wish was a bit different was I wish Team Green had more likable characters.
Yeah.
No, because it feels a lot of time very cut and dry. Team Black, most people are going to be like, yeah, I want them to win for sure.
Oh, 100%. Rhaenyra is the clear, obvious, she was wrong the most, for sure.
Because, in Game of Thrones, yes, Lannisters are super shitty, but Jaime, you end up really liking him. I really like Jaime.
Yeah, but that's more of an end up really liking him. I'll say, it's pretty similar in Game of Thrones for me, because as much as I love Tywin Lannister, he's the clear-cut bad guy in this scenario.
No, for sure. You need a clear-cut bad guy. Let me finish, though.
Of course.
So Jaime Lannister, you do grow to like him by like even season 2-ish, mostly season 3, I believe. But Tyrion, on the Lannister side, you always love Tyrion.
Oh, I love Tyrion. Yeah,
Right?
for sure.
You have Bronn.
Yeah, Bronn's great too.
Yeah, you have Viserys.
I'll give you that. That makes a lot of sense.
That's what
now.
I mean.
Yeah.
A lot of the people on like the Lannister side are super likable.
Yeah, you're right.
Team Green doesn't have that.
When I say, or when Michael says that Team Green doesn't have any of those likable tons of characters, none of these characters are bad characters. They're
Exactly.
all good characters.
Yes.
None of these characters are bad. They're all understandable, well
Yes.
fleshed out,
Absolutely.
three-dimensional characters. None of these characters are bad. But on the side of likable characters, of the characters that we obviously want to win, I obviously want Rhaenyra to win. I obviously
Yes.
want Daemon to win. I obviously want, because Hoot's kids are kind, well-behaved, respect their parents, respect the law of the land. Rhaenyra's kids.
And here's the thing. I think it might be less like, obviously you want Rhaenyra to win that I have issue with. Because with Game of Thrones, most people would agree, obviously I want the Starks to win.
Yes.
But what I really am getting at is, but I like Tyrion so much that I am worried about what will happen if his side loses.
I agree. The only two people that I really, really have sympathy for is Helena, because
Yes.
she did nothing wrong.
Right.
Helena
Of course.
genuinely did nothing wrong. And then Alicent. As much as a bad mother as she is, terrible mother as she is definitely the victim in this scenario.
Well, yeah, yes. Alicent's situation is very, like, you can be very sympathetic towards it. I am. Like, I understand her position.
Sure.
Still shitty. But,
Agreed.
and same thing with Helena. Helena definitely, ooh, I'm so sorry.
Poor girl.
Poor girl.
And like this, there's a scene with Helena and Alicent in this, and it's very short and it's very inconsequential. But there's one line that Helena gives Alicent near the end of the scene.
Yeah.
And she just looks at her mom and says, "I forgive you."
Alicent's probably like, how?
She seems to be able to rationalize everything very
Yes.
well. Like when she was talking about the small folk and the fact that they have more of a reason to mourn than she does because
Yes.
they lose kids all the time, and she is royalty.
And yeah, and from from a logic, like pragmatic sense, Helena probably sees her mom's need for, to sate her lust with Kristen Cole as like well, I get it. My dad was a decaying gremlin.
Yeah.
So yeah, go for it, Mom.
Yeah. Sounds good.
You get that Dornish cock. Welcome back from the edit. I don't know if you're going to keep that in.
I'll keep it in.
Oh, cool.
Welcome back from
Welcome
the
back
edit.
from the edit. Welcome back from the edit. We had a collective fucking brain fart.
The penis conversation.
Yes, it is about penises.
Sorry, penis
So-
on the mind.
So you will not be privy to this conversation
No.
unless you pay for our Patreon that we don't have,
And our OnlyFans that
and
we
our
also
OnlyFans
don't have.
that we also don't have.
But maybe. You know.
maybe here.
Feed pics.
So yeah, the brothel scene.
Oof.
Like, so overall,
Yeah.
good scene.
Of
Like,
course.
sometimes though, and Game of Thrones is guilty of this too.
Yeah.
Like, I get it. This is a world where there's just depravity
Yeah.
of all kinds. I get it. I got it in season 1 of Game of Thrones. I got it in season 2 of Game of Thrones. I got it in like a lot of the seasons, and I got it in House of the Dragon. You don't need to beat it over my head anymore. Look, I literally do not need to see porn on screen anymore. Okay? But I'm just saying, I don't need to be overstimulated with tits and a random cock on screen. That's what gets me.
Twice, by the way. Twice.
Aemon, why do I have to see
Like, I had to watch
this man's dick?
I watched this with my dad, and it was this isn't a shot to where it's like in the side profile. No, this is a wide shot. In the center of the frame is Aemon.
Yeah.
And he turns around facing the camera from head to toe, and it's just wang
Yes.
on all.
Now, okay, couple things though. I'd like to think that despite being in such a vulnerable position, he stands defiantly, even against his brother, who is
Yeah.
the king, showing that like he's not letting his brother take away his pride.
Yeah. He keeps his composure the entire time.
Hence why I think they made the decision to be like, exposing him,
Yeah.
right? Penis, right?
Yeah.
Like, I get it. I'm pretty sure that's the reason, right? Despite being so exposed, that he can stand tall and proud. And yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the reason. I still didn't need that.
No. I do like the interaction between Aemond and Aegon because it shows two sides of the coin. Aegon definitely views his brother in the loyal light. Like, he is said to his friends before, like, my brother is as loyal as a hound and he will go burn the city if I want to. But he also views his brother in the younger brother aspect. Aegon's the older brother.
Yep.
He's treating his younger brother very cruelly. And he, I'm sure, views this as, oh, I'm just teasing you. Like, oh, whatever. Like, but Aegon, I'm sure, views his relationship very different from his brother because he still remembers the teasing from from a younger age. He tells that to, you know, the whore. I don't know her name, so I'm just going to refer to her as the whore. He tells it to her in the last episode, like, he remembers the teasing, he remembers how he was treated, and he's still currently being treated. Like, Aegon knows that Aemond is not going to attack him, even though Aemond is far and above a better warrior, a better dragon rider, just better than Aegon than everything.
He's got a better ass.
Yeah, all right. But I think there's a bit of like jealousy with Aegon because he definitely wants to uphold the Conqueror's image when he holds the Conqueror's sword, he has the Conqueror's crown, he wears the Conqueror's armor, but he will never be Aemond.
Probably the second best scene in this entire episode for me. You liked this one the most. I think this is second best.
I like it for a couple reasons.
Right.
This is Daemon's
dream.
Yeah, dream scene, which we don't really know it's a dream scene. And this is the first time this show is even doing something like this, which is really cool.
Like, what do you mean? Like
anything mystical. Like, this is very mystical. It's not because he's not dreaming. He wakes up near a god tree. He's not dreaming.
Literally everything with Bran.
In House of Dragon, I mean.
Oh, in House of the Dragon? Okay, that I agree with.
No,
okay, I thought you meant Game of Thrones.
No, what? Obviously, this is not Game of Thrones.
Okay, because I was very confused. Like, what are you talking about?
Like the night.
We got
like
so much mystical bullshit.
Yeah, no, obviously, House of Dragon.
I mean, dragons are kind of fucking mystical.
Listen, dude.
I'm just saying, dragons are pretty fucking mythical.
Like, okay, magical in the sense of magic. Taking dragons out of the equation, magic. That stuff.
Right. Okay.
So we don't know. So as of right now, Daemon is in his quarters. We don't know this is a dream sequence yet, but someone tries to break down his door. He's obviously barricaded it with the sword because he's just on the defensive. We've seen the previous scene. He didn't want to eat the peas because he thought it was going to be poison. So he's on the defensive. Someone tries to break in his door. He pulls out his sword. The door stops shaking. He goes out to investigate. Walks in a room with a fire, and he sees young Rhaenyra, which I was shocked to see because I wasn't expecting a dream sequence. He sees young Rhaenyra, which, again, I was really happy to see because I really liked the young actress who portrayed young Rhaenyra. Anyway, so we see... I forgot her real name in real life. We see young Rhaenyra, and then we see that she is sewing the head...
That shit was crazy to me.
Yeah, she is sewing the head of the child that was murdered during the blood and cheese moment. That was fun.
Awesome.
And we see the expression on Daemon's eye. And one of the best things about this character is that there are so many scenes in Game of Thrones that involve great dialogue and great like interaction between characters. With Daemon, a lot of his scenes is just the way he looks at characters, the way he looks at Rhaenyra, Viserys, and the way he looks at young Rhaenyra in this moment, the way he sees the head of the baby. There's such guilt and sadness in his eyes that I haven't seen in Daemon in the entire season 1 or season 2. You haven't seen this expression from him.
Because for him, it's really him seeing such an innocent look to be like tarnished.
Yes.
Because again, you would think of a woman holding a child would be a beautiful, innocent scene, but because of his actions, it becomes a grotesque scene.
Yeah.
And I love Rhaenyra's young Rhaenyra's line where, you know, while you gallivant around, I have to clean up your mess. It really just like for that. I believe that like that haunts him actually because in his mind he's like, I'm the reason, that like I've made things so difficult for Rhaenyra. I made things difficult for my brother.
Yeah.
And I think it's just a reminder that like his actions just bring pain to the people he loves.
Yeah, the transition, he wakes up and he's next to a God's Eye tree. Now, the
Yes.
God's Eye tree is always known to be a mystical, magical thing, but I don't think that's the thing that's causing his dream. He looks over and there's this chick whose name I don't remember, but in the books she's like...
She's a witch,
She's supposed
probably.
to be a witch. She's probably a witch in the books. And she looks into his eye and all she says is, "You will die in this place," and she walks away.
I didn't like that. I'm not a fan of that
Well, I mean, I guess yeah.
because he's gonna die. Now
Yeah.
I know definitely he's going to die, and this will be where he dies. Thank you. I don't. Why?
The words of witches are never to be taken 100% seriously, because remember Melisandre in the original Game of Thrones, like, when the seasons were good, she said many, 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 many things. A lot of those things never came to be true. Like, who was one of the other Baratheon, the Stoic Baratheon who burned
Stannis.
Stannis Baratheon. Yeah, nothing of what she said about him came to be true at all. This
Yeah.
could be very similar to this event. Rhaenyra sneaks into King's Landing.
Yeah.
This scene is not in the books. And
Well, it's still great.
as far as scenes that are not in the books, we talked about in the last episode, I don't think that scenes that are not in the books, per se, are bad scenes. Because the season 1 added a lot of scenes. Season 1 added a lot of extra context to the House of the Dragon that I don't mind at all. And I think this scene is a great example of a good scene that was added. And
Yes.
honestly, context that we really needed, because Alicent and Rhaenyra get to meet up, where Alicent is praying in the church. Rhaenyra is dressed as a nun. She meets with her and they talk about the possibility, because Rhaenyra is on her last line with her council. They are like, we have to go to war. Like, let me try this one last thing. Let me talk to my old friend, one more time before we go to war.
Yeah.
We have to figure out if there's an idea piece.
And like, I love how Alicent's like, "Oh, so you've come to surrender?" And of course,
Yeah.
Rhaenyra's like, "No, I've come to see if we can make peace." Blah 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 blah.
By the way, I do like that Rhaenyra immediately pulls a knife on her.
Yes, and I love her line where she's like, "I've begun badly."
Yes.
I just love this. Like, this is great. This is funny. It wouldn't surprise me if Rhaenyra also wanted confirmation to really know, did her father actually change his mind
Oh, yeah.
in the very end? Mm-hmm. Hence why, like, when she asks about her dad, and you can tell, like, she really wants to know, like, did Viserys, her father, love her?
Yeah. And there's such a moment where for a second, it's almost confirmed for her that Viserys changed her mind.
Yes.
Because there's as soon as Alicent is telling her, like, hey, I'm not lying. I'm being
yes.
very serious. At least she believes that Viserys changed his mind. And she's telling Rhaenyra what
Yeah.
she believes to be true. Viserys changed his mind. And there's a tear that rolls down Rhaenyra's eyes. And your heart beats.
Oh yeah. And
But as soon as she mentions the words, the prince that was promised, Rhaenyra's eyes just like, wait, what? Hold on. Wait a minute.
he didn't fuck me over.
Like, what did you mean? Did she use those words? And Alicent was like, yeah. And it's like, you are an idiot.
Well,
That's not
no.
what he was talking about.
Not necessarily, like, not in that kind of, not in
Yes,
that
of
manner.
course, because she wouldn't know.
Yeah, because so Rhaenyra's like, oh, or she's like, yes, it's a story he would tell us, or that he used to say about Aegon the Conqueror, and
Yeah.
Alicent's like, oh,
I done goofed.
the Conqueror.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. I love that Alicent's like, you should leave before they spot you. And Rhaenyra was like, well, we can stop this. And Alicent's like, we cannot. It's too late. And it really is on both sides of this. Because Otto could barely rein in Aegon.
Yes.
Fucking barely. Now with him gone, war is inevitable because
Yep.
Aegon is out for blood. Aemon is definitely is like, yeah, I'm down for some bloodshed.
Yeah.
Kristen Cole hates Rhaenyra.
Yep, he's already marching an army towards
Yes,
her.
like at this point, everyone on Team Green wants war.
And what makes it worse for Alicent is that she has even less control than Rhaenyra. Rhaenyra is there. Her followers are still loyal to her. Like at the end of the day, even though they disagree with her, they're still going to follow her command. Alicent has no control.
Not only that, but I honestly think that there is probably even though Alicent knows deep down that like, oh, I misunderstood.
Yeah.
Part of her wishes to remain defiant because it's a very human thing to not admit when you're wrong.
Oh yeah.
Right. So part of her probably is like she can't admit that she was wrong about this.
Yeah.
Right. Now, granted, now I do think next episode she's probably going to come to terms with the fact that like I fucked up. I fucking fucked that fucking shit up.
Yeah.
A lot of fucking. I need Kristen Cole. He's gone. Fuck. I think it really ties back, not in maybe the way that people would expect, but like that it doesn't matter what the reason is.
Yeah.
That there is just hatred towards one another now. That it doesn't matter if the reason for why you're fighting is forgotten or if it is a lie or if it was a misunderstanding. War is inevitable.
Yep.
Hey guys, thanks for watching oh shit! Fuck! Guys, thanks for watching this episode of the Couch Caveman Podcast. Hopefully you liked our discussion about House of the Dragon Season 2. Look, if you want to save my life, fucking subscribe, comment. Jacob's gonna fucking kill me if we don't do well. We need to make money! Have at thee, you fucking knave! Ah! Fucking victory! Still like and subscribe though, you